Next, we have Tamia representing Guyana. Tamia is a third-year medicine, science, and humanities major. She's also a double major with public health, and she's a minor in bioethics. She grew up in New Jersey. Family is from Good Success in Craig, Guyana. That's actually like words. Good Success in Craig, Guyana. She is a part of Blue Key. She is a pilot leader. She's part of the APO Service Rat. And she's part of the OBGYN Health Student Interest Society. Also a volunteer at Hopkins Hospital. So give it up. Alrighty, we're here for our last part of today, which is the questions. So we're gonna get started. There you go. Alright, so I'm gonna start over here with Sam. Sam, how are you doing today?
Doing good, how are you?
I'm good, I'm well. Alright, so tell us about yourself and why you decided to do pageant.
A little more about myself. My parents, they both come from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. They immigrated to the US more than a couple decades ago. But, and yeah, I think I just, from their representation of Haiti, call out to me, and I just want to make them proud and represent Haiti as well as I can. And when I did this pageant, just representing Haiti as much as I can. I had the opportunity the past 4 years I've been here. But once I found out the pageant was going to happen again, I jumped on the opportunity so I could represent Haiti for everyone in the school.
Ariane, tell us why you decided to do Haiti. Tell us why you decided to do pageant.
Thank you for that question, Steph. So, as you guys know, I was born in Guyana, Asturias, Spain. My family migrated from Cuba in 2000. Luckily, I was able to go to the island in 2017 with my gorgeous grandmother and my uncle. Cuba is suffering, one, from starvation, lack of infrastructure, and just overall poverty, and two, from the lack of medical resources that treat illnesses brought about by these conditions. So I chose to do this pageant to represent the charity First Hand Aid and give money to them so that they can distribute medical resources to the Cuban people, especially those that have nobody abroad to advocate for them. Thank you.
Desire, the same question for you. Tell us about yourself and why you decided to do pageant.
So hi, I'm Kasai. I'm I'm a senior here. In my years here, I've been blessed with the opportunity to participate in ASA Fashion Show and many other things on this campus. But what drew me to pageant is being able to actually celebrate my own culture, my own country, and share more about its history and the love we have. So yeah.
All right, so now you're going to close us out. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to do pageant.
Hello,
I decided to do pageant for two reasons. One, the first reason being able to give my mother another chance to see me in this beautiful dress. And the second reason is to bring light to Guyanese culture here on campus. I luckily am the daughter of a Guyanese woman, as well as the granddaughter of another Guyanese woman, who are gratefully sitting in the first row here on this side. And my mother and my grandmother have instilled in me so many virtues that have come from their upbringing in Guyana, and I have grown up so close to my culture. Coming to college, I realized I was missing a little piece of that culture here at Hopkins, and thankfully I was able to engage with my culture in our all favorite way of eating. I have spent the last 3 years, I'm aging myself. I've spent the last 3 years being able to learn my traditional recipes and ensure that those recipes live on in my family. And I've also chosen to do pageant just because it's given me the opportunity to step outside of my comfort zone. Guys, I'm so nervous. But I wanted to shed light on the country of Guyana, a country that gets so often left out of the conversations of the Caribbean because it isn't in the Caribbean Sea, it's actually in South America. But yes, to shed light on my culture, step out of my comfort zone, and make my mother and my grandmother proud.
So explain why you chose your charitable cause and why it is important to you.
I chose the Haitian Bridge Alliance, which aims to give aid to migrants from Haiti, just looking for social help to gain citizenship, and just with the immigration process. Especially now at a time where I'm from Boston, so there's a lot of Haitian migrants come from Haiti to Boston. Often when I go home and on the news, I see that there's a lot of Haitians sleeping in the airports, wishing for somewhere to stay, just about what's going on in Haiti. And I chose that alliance just to help people like those that are just staying in the airports, waiting for someone to give them a helping hand. And I hope that you guys can donate to the charity so you guys can apply as well.
Amazing answer. Ariana, why did you pick your charity and why is it important to you?
Thank you for that question. Originally, I wanted to do something with Doctors Without Borders, which is an organization I hope to volunteer for in the future. But I noticed that they had closed their operations in Cuba in the year 2000. In my research, I found First-Hand Aid that completed its first mission in 1999, and it distributes not just medical aid, but also humanitarian aid to Cuba. I think this cause is so important, especially with COVID-19 and the devastation that it brought on the island. I feel like this is an issue that is not discussed enough, especially when international relations and public health is discussed. I remember seeing TikToks and YouTube videos of people lining up to go into some random house that has no hygienic measures, and just, you could tell that the instruments being used on these people were the same instruments without being sterilized or anything like that. So I hope that you guys will select me so that this charity gets $1,000, which will mean so much to the Cuban people. Just one syringe could save somebody's life. Thank you.
Next, we have Kasai, the same question. Tell us why you chose your charity and why it's important to you.
For me, growing up, I remember my mom would constantly rummage through my closet on clothes that I could not fit, or sometimes clothes that I still fit, and shoes, to put them in barrels to send to Jamaica whenever there were storms, whenever we had friends or family in need. And the charity that I chose, the Alma Foundation, sends money over to the Caribbean countries, including Jamaica, obviously, to aid with natural disasters as well as healthcare. And I feel like that was just another step for me to help them out in case I cannot, when it comes to my clothes or my own money at times. Obviously, God seems to be real plans for real. So yeah, that's why I chose my charity.
Thank you, Kasai, and Kasai's mom for taking their clothes and sending it overseas. Tamia, you're gonna close us out. Why did you choose your charity and why is it important to you?
My charity is called Blossoms for Guyana. It is a nonprofit organization that was chartered here in Maryland in 2009, and its mission statement is to provide resources to low-income students in Guyana. And I chose this because, as we all know, here as college students, all of us are Johns Hopkins students, that education is the key in life. We all are here in college furthering our education because we not only want to learn more about our majors, obviously, and become experts in our fields, but also to expand upon where we started off in life, whether that means climbing in our social economic status or even just becoming a pillar in our respective subjects. In Guyana, there are many students who are living in low-income and impoverished communities, and because of that, the schools, the primary schools, don't have enough resources to really give the students exactly what they need in order to thrive. Now, Blossoms for Guyana has done a lot for Guyana. It has raised over $14,000 in the past 10 years. It has helped with 4 library renovations. It has also helped at least 9,000 students, which is absolutely amazing considering that Guyana is a very small country. Its population is only 800,000, and 9,000 of those were helped right from the hands of Blossoms for Guyana. And another beautiful thing about Blossoms for Guyana is that it was chartered here in Maryland, and we all love the great city of Maryland, now don't we? I hope that with this money, we can provide more resources to students so that they can get their books, their computers, and even just have a good, nice meal when they're at school eating lunch. As we all know, education is the key, and I'm hoping to provide that for low-income Guyanese students so that maybe one day they'll be standing here in our shoes on our campus.
We're gonna move on to our third of 5 questions. And we'll start with you, Tamia, because I'm giving Sam a little break. If you could use one word to describe your country, what would it be?
Diverse. Guyana is a country that exemplifies what it means to be diverse, whether it comes in this form of its people, its culture, or even in its natural resources. Now, Guyana, as you guys may or may not know, is home to 6 major ethnic groups. Those groups being the African, the East Indian, the European, the Portuguese, the Chinese, and the Amerindian, the indigenous peoples to Guyana. Now, the story of how all these people ended up in one place in South America is a little bit tricky. There's some colonialism all up in there. Our African people came over through the slave trade as part of, as enslaved persons who worked sugar plantations, while East Indian people came over as indentured servants, and the other people came over in other various ways, whether it's through colonial measures or also indentured servitude. And obviously our indigenous people were the people original to our land. Now, disregarding the history of how everyone got there, Guyana has done a beautiful, beautiful job of making its land a melting pot of different cultures. No matter where you go, you'll see so many different cultures beautifully blending into each other seamlessly, whether it's in our food, like our national dish, which is pepper pot, and which we use something called kasrip, which comes from our indigenous peoples, whether it's eating curry chicken and roti, which comes from our beautiful East Indian people, or even some of our pastries and things of that nature. You can see our culture seeping into every aspect of our lives. Now, another beautiful thing about Guyana is that it's beautifully, beautifully, beautifully diverse when it comes to nature. As I said, we are a very small country, only about 830,000 people, not that many people. The vast majority of the land is actually uninhabited because we actually hold part of the Amazon rainforest. I know we all know the Amazon rainforest. There's so much beautiful diversity in the Amazon rainforest, whether it comes in forms of capybaras or poisonous tree frogs. There's so many different beautiful, beautiful fauna and flora in our country. Now lastly, one last one I'll make before I end my question, is that Guyana is diverse even in its waters. We have a little motto in our country, we're known as the land of many waters, and I am trying to exemplify that right now here in my gown. My gown is representing Kaieteur Falls, which is the world's largest single drop waterfall. We also have rivers like the Essequibo River, which is the longest river in Guyana,
the Demerara River, and the Berbice River. So many different beautiful bodies of water in our country. I know I went on a lot about how beautiful and diverse Guyana is, but I hope that what you've gotten from my answer is that we really are an exemplary example of how a country can be diverse, not only in its people, not only in its culture, but also in its land. And before I hand this off to you, I know I said I was almost done. But we also have a lot of natural resources. Before I end, we have oil and we have gold. As you guys saw, when I came for my traditional wear, I was donning a beautiful gold necklace with gold earrings. All those were Guyanese gold, very, very rich in gold. And we recently discovered oil off of our coast in about 2015, I believe. So Guyana is definitely booming when it comes to natural resources. Thank you guys. Remember everything, not mumbling, like I should have made her host, because okay. That was beautiful, thank you so much. If you could, I don't know if you remember the question, but if you could use one word to describe your country, what would it be, Kasaya?
For me, it would be authentic, or authenticity. I feel like many cultures I've interacted with in my years of growing up, and especially just in Baltimore alone, and I feel like nothing compares to how true Jamaicans will forever stay to their roots. I feel like nothing can compare to that. Even in the food, those are flavors that you can't emulate no matter what. And even when it comes to showing love to other people, we tend not to be the most affectionate, we tend to be a little aggressive sometimes. But through our actions, we should always show that we love and care for you, and that's something that I love, that we don't ever change ourselves no matter where we are. Whether it's here, a lot of us migrate to Connecticut at times, or just back in Jamaica. It's always just true to ourselves, so yeah.
Ariana, we're going to go back to you. Tell us one word you would use to describe your country.
Thank you for that question. I believe that a country is made up of its people, and that is why I describe Cuba as resilient. Despite the lack of improper sewage, infrastructure, the piles of garbage on the streets, the frequent power outages, and the starvation that's felt on the island, I have never ever met a hateful or resentful Cuban. And that is why we live by the motto that La Vida, life, really is un carnaval, a carnival. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariana. Sam, we're going to close us out for this question. If you use one word to describe your country, what would it be?
The word I would use is strength. I think what comes to mind when I think of Haiti is back in 1804. You guys know, became the first free Black republic in the nation, in the world. And after that, I think about the 2010 earthquake that happened in Haiti, how it displaced so many people. But I saw that the country was able to pick up, with the USA, pick up by the bootstraps, keep pushing. And the stuff that's going on now, seeing Haitians move to try to go to the US, look for opportunities, continue to push on, and from what I see from my family, making money here, sending it to the relatives, because we have so many relatives in Haiti, but sending money to people back at home, and I've seen so many other Haitian families do the same, and through and through, I've just seen Haitians just exude strength. It's something I wish to aspire to be like. But thank you guys.
Thank you, Sam. We're going to go on to our fourth and 5 questions. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, hopefully I get a job. Everyone at CS knows job market is. Anyways, I think more than that, I think I want to see myself more. I want my identity to be more than just my job. I want to be fully into my community, helping out, kind of what I said earlier with the strength, exuding that strength to other people in my community, and just hopefully have family. But yeah. That's it.
Ariana, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Thank you for that question. In 10 years, I see myself furthering my education at the MD PhD program at the Uniformed Services University, specializing in immunology, and focusing on the genesis of diseases in tropical settings, as well as how we can cure those diseases with the vegetation that spurs in tropical climates. Thank you.
I love that she always thanks me. I love that she always thanks me. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, Keziah?
I thank you for that question. I hope to see myself as an OBGYN in 10 years. And as Steph mentioned, I do love to write a lot of poetry or fiction, so I hope to have a book of my poetry published by the end of this month.
Tamia, you're gonna close us out. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Thank you, Steph. I think to talk about where I'm going to be in 10 years, I have to start with where I am now. So currently I am 20 years old. In 10 years I will be 30. And no offense to any of you guys who have made it to 30 and surpassed 30, but I am scared of 30. I am currently a college student on the pre-medical track. And like many of my fellow Hopkins students, I do have aspirations to become a physician. Now my aspirations to become a physician do come from a deep care about women's reproductive health. I currently am on my way to become a doula, and as many of you guys know, a doula is a birthing assistant who provides physical and emotional support to birthing persons throughout their labor and in the couple days postpartum. I hope to, after I get my Hopkins bachelor's degree, to go on and get my master's in public health to further my understanding of the state of public health in our country. As we all know, the state of public health is very, very horrid, I will say. So I'm hoping to get my master's in public health and eventually go on to get my MD. Now, I do know that life changes, and whenever we make plans, God laughs. And if for some reason I am not getting my MD in the next 10 years, I do know that wherever I end up, I will be helping people, because that is my passion, to help people, especially in the reproductive health care system. Yeah, thank you.
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Hopefully not here. All right. Now, Sarah, why should you be voted the face of the Caribbean tonight?
Thank you, Steph. I think why I should be Face of the Caribbean is because I think I know I embody a lot of the Caribbean values. One, being helpful. Thank you, Steph. Thank you. Helping out my community, like what Steph said earlier, President Mocha, just being able to create a safe space for the men of color on campus, trying to bring them in and give them a place on campus, because a lot of times we've been kind of pushed to the side. Trying to make sure they know that they have people that can support them. And resilience, or strength, getting through the classes, that's all that's about. That and being able to exude strength outside of classes, just knowing, just pushing through and getting through life. Yeah, and thank you guys.
Aranya, why should you be voted the face of the Caribbean today?
Thank you for that question. I'm not in this race just for Cuba. I'm in this race for the entire Caribbean. But I do feel that I should begin with my work in Cuba. People go to our sandy beaches and profit off of them, while the sufferings of Caribbeans are being overlooked. And I also believe I already am the face of the Caribbean.
Yes.
I'll give y'all a reason. I'm always greeting y'all with a smile. Even when I'm sad, I'm angry, I will always greet you with a smile. And that's a virtue that us Caribbeans embody every single day. So thank you guys for being here tonight. And I really hope that you guys do learn from my words and do support Cuba during these trying times. Thank you.
Miss Face of the Caribbean already. I don't think I'm Caribbean. She said that we always smile. I have been. But it's okay. Because why should you be voted the face of the Caribbean?
I think my time here at Hopkins has been spent interacting with so many different cultures here in the groups that I'm involved in and the people that I've been able to befriend in here in Baltimore. And I feel as though taking those with me, I'm able to further entrench myself in those values that other people have given me while still staying true to the Jamaican values that I've been raised with. And I feel as though there's not really any better candidate. I feel like Jamaica has paved the way for a lot of other Caribbean countries. It's the face of it, I feel like no one reps it better than us.
Thank you, Kasaya. Tamia, why should you be voted the face of the Caribbean today?
Thank you, Steph. I believe that I should be voted the face of the Caribbean because I believe I embody what it means to be not only a Caribbean person, but a first-generation American, the daughters of Caribbean immigrants to America, as well as a Caribbean person. I believe I embody what it means to be Caribbean when it comes to 3 specific qualities, those qualities being 1, resilience, 2, beauty, and 3, the desire to grow and give our culture, our knowledge, and our power to the world. When it comes to resilience, as you guys know, the Caribbean was pillaged by European colonists during the 17th and 18th centuries for their natural resources, as some of my contestants have mentioned, like our beaches, our oil, our gold. And because of that, we have been left in not so ideal standards. But because of that, we have grown. We are picking ourselves up by our bootstraps, as they say, and making sure that we can continue to thrive despite what has been done to us, not becoming a product of what has happened to us, but becoming stronger because of it. Now, when it comes to beauty, I know you guys all know that the Caribbean is beautiful, whether it is our beaches or our forests, like in Guyana, our beautiful water, the Caribbean Sea, all of that, the people, the Caribbean all in all is a very, very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And when it comes to desire to grow and give not only our culture, but our knowledge to the world, all of you guys sitting here can definitely name at least 5 different Caribbean people. That's because the diaspora goes so far and wide. And sitting here, and all of us sitting here, we are an example of that diaspora of Caribbean people leaving the Caribbean and coming to different places to not only better themselves, but also to give their culture to where they are going. And lastly, another reason is why I embody that value of the Caribbean is because I am taking my Caribbean culture not only in what we wear, what we listen to, and what we eat, but also going farther than that. I am currently embarking on my honors senior thesis in the Department of Medicine, Science, and Humanities, and that thesis will be focused on Caribbean history, specifically in Guyana, looking at the colonial effects on medicine and medical autonomy. And God willing, I will be in Guyana in those archives, combing through those the records that they have there, putting pieces together of a puzzle. Sorry, guys, and hopefully presenting my research to all of you come the fall. Thank you.